Hello there everyone, and welcome to this review of these two 1/6 scale statues by Weta Workshop. Now both these arrived because I had to wait a while for these to come, and they arrived about a day apart. Now unfortunately, well not unfortunately, but Sauron arrived about the same time. I think one of these arrived on exactly the same day as Sauron, the other one arrived the day after. So they were somewhat overshadowed, and by obviously that incredible piece I've got over there. So, but yeah, I wanted to do a brief chat. Now I think these came out last year, but I didn't get mine until quite recently. So I had to wait a long time for them. And I know that the Galadriel piece is actually from The Hobbit, and I wasn't really going to collect too much from the Hobbit line. I was sticking predominantly to Lord of the Rings. But I thought the statue looked really good, and because I wasn't really going to go down the 1/6 scale line, but with Weta knocking out so many good Lord of the Ring pieces at the moment, I felt that, well, you know what, I can get quite a few 1/6 scale Lord of the Ring pieces all together and get a display set up around that. I mean, certainly I wasn't going to miss out on the Escape from the Road piece, which, you know, if this is anything to go by, it's going to show how good that piece will be. I can't wait to get that piece. So yeah, anyway, that was sort of my reasoning behind going down. And also, I'm not bothered about having all one scale. I know a lot of collectors like to stick to one scale, but I'm quite sort of happy to have 1/6, 1/4, 1/3, half. You know, I'm not that fussy. So yeah, so I mean, really, I've not really thought through what I'm going to say about these pieces. Now, for me, the only negative thing I've got to say about certainly the Nazgûl guy is, which I think might be coming through, inside the head here, it's flat molded inside at an angle, and where I've got mine displayed, it lights that up. You can see it reflecting back. You might even be coming up on the camera now, which sort of spoils the effects. Now, it would have been better if they'd have made that flat or even hollowed it down a little bit. I mean, I assume that would have been possible. I don't know, I'm not a sculptor, so. But yeah, that's, for this piece, that's the only critique I've got on it, really, is and where I've got him displayed on that shelf as well, the light comes through, there's a window there behind the camera, and it lights that up continually, and it is quite distracting. So yeah, that's a slightly annoying, but again, for the price, I'm not too fussed about that. And at the end of the day, let's be honest, a Nazgûl, it's a black cloak with armoured hands and a sword, a rusty old sword, and the armoured feet, if you can see them. So I mean, the paintwork on this, the sculpt and the paintwork on this is absolutely fantastic. It really is. I'm very impressed. But you know, you come to expect that from Weta. Really, they don't tend to get too much wrong, apart from what we'll get to in a minute. So yeah, so it is, so much as the Nazgûl piece here, I'm quite happy with it. For say, I think it was 270 quid. Shipping was cheap. They've got a European-based factory or warehouse, so I think the shipping on these pieces individually was £14. The import fees on them, though, were horrendous. They were £87 each import fee, which they came by a different company. Now I think it's DHL or DPD that normally deliver the Prime 1 stuff. And to put it in perspective, I paid just shy of £600 for Sauron, who came in 2 boxes, came from China by air, and my weigh bill on him was £60, and yet I've paid £87 odd each for these. And I've asked the question before to collectors who've been doing this for a lot longer than me, and they've just basically said, no, nobody can really work out how the weigh bill works. You have to pay it, and that's the end. So yeah, so I was quite surprised by the amount the weigh bill came to. These come in a pretty small box as well, 1 box, small box. There's no weight to them. Although this fellow weighs considerably more than Galadriel does. Yeah, so, you know, rough with the smooth, I suppose. Very cheap shipping, heavy way bill. Now, Galadriel. Now, this piece has caused a little controversy with the old Bozai issue. Now, I've put a sort of face on so you can see I've managed to get one that isn't Bozai'd. But I've seen some pictures, and I know photographs, sometimes they can be misleading. So, but mine isn't, but I have seen some pictures where the cross-eyed effect is quite, yeah, it's not great. So, and I mean the likeness to Kate Blanchett, it's pretty much there. It's pretty much there. I mean, as we all know, I've seen plenty of comments where people say that, you know, Weta, you know, one of their areas that they tend to fall a bit short on is the likenesses to the actors and actresses. The Bilbo in Bag End is a prime example where it doesn't really look like Ian Holm, to be honest with you. Again, it's not something that bothers me that much. You know, you can tell who it is, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm buying these pieces to display them, and I'm not overly concerned. And I mean, just to digress briefly onto another one I saw, there was a lot of controversy over a recent Harley piece, and I can't. Was it the Prime One Harley? Was it Prime? I think it was Prime One from the new not Justice League, Suicide Squad film, where she's wearing the red dress, and you had a lot of people saying it looks nothing like the actress, and a lot of people saying, yeah, it's bang on. So again, I suppose a lot of these things, it's eye of the beholder, isn't it? Which art is anyway. And it was the same with the, I think that was Queen Studios' Black Widow piece, where they were saying it didn't look like, I can't think of her name at the moment. But I was looking at them, and again, I'm not interested in the Marvel or DC pieces, but I'm interested in seeing what statue companies do. And I was looking at that, and I thought, it's bang on, Scarlett Johansson. It's bang on for her. And sometimes I think, well, you know, maybe to some people it doesn't look like, but at the same time, I also feel, to be bluntly honest with you, that sometimes people just troll a bit on these posts. You know, they just, for whatever reason, maybe they just, you know, maybe they don't think it looks like the person they genuinely are. But I think there are certainly cases, some of the comments I read, where I just get the impression that this person, for whatever reason, is just down on this piece. You know, maybe it's simply because they don't want it, so they're just going to try and ruin it for those that do. But that happens in every walk of life. So you've always got that person who tries to spoil things for others, unfortunately. And personally, I've always felt if I like it and I like the look of it, and I can afford it, I'm going to buy it. And I don't really give a toss what anybody else thinks. So, and I mean, as collectors, what we do, I mean, I don't know about all of you guys, but I know I get a bit of stick for it. I accept it, you know, it's parcel of, you know, life. You know, people are always going to give you a little bit of stick, but I don't care, because I love what I do. And I've always been passionate about whatever I'm interested in. And I've always had the same sort of running vein throughout my entire life, that I've always been a lover of science fiction and fantasy, and I always will be. So yeah, I mean, but just going back, that was a long way of getting around to going back to saying there were clearly photographs on some of the groups where she had come out quite obviously boz-eyed, and so that's the only negative I can pick on this piece, really. Mine isn't, so I don't have a problem with that. I think it's a very, I don't want to say simple piece, but it's a very sort of static museum, as they both are. But they look good displayed together. I do like the way they look, and they're not. I've got them on the shelf for that, but that's not where they'll be staying, I can assure you. I'm going to get a sort of a Weta setup, but I'm not quite sure how I'm doing it yet. So that's one for the future. So yeah, basically a very quick and simple review today, guys. because I know these pieces are still available, and somebody had asked actually about these two pieces, so I thought I'll just knock together a very quick review. I apologise that I still have this congestion and I'm very nasal. I was listening back to the video I did yesterday. It just won't shift at the moment, guys. I don't know what's going on. I know a lot of people are going around saying that they've had colds for weeks and weeks now and it just won't go. Well, I had my flu jab about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and this has come on since then, and I've never had flu in my life. It just, this congestion just won't shift. It's really bugging me. So I apologise that I'm very nasally. Yeah, hopefully it'll shift soon. So that's it really, guys. I'm going to wrap this up because, you know, any questions, please just ask. I'd like to thank everybody as well that's been commenting and asking questions, and I'm going to bring a few of the things up on the next haunt chat that I do. I shall probably be next week now. And yeah, and thank you again to everyone who's watching and subscribing and everything else. If you haven't subscribed, again, I hate to go on, but please can you? It's a huge help. And yeah, cheers everyone, and thanks for watching this video. And I'll catch you all very soon, and have a great week ahead.